This man is no stranger to bees. He's an insect expert and has made a living looking after them. He's Dr. Norman Gary, a 64-year-old bee behaviourist who claims to have been stung over 75,000 times in his career. Today, Dr. Gary will attempt to entice an entire swarm of bees into the back of his throat. To set a new world record, he will open his mouth while standing in a swarm of bees. When he's got as many bees in his mouth as he can, he will close it for 10 seconds. After which, he will open his mouth and release the bees into this mesh tube. Judges will then count the number of bees as they're released from the other end. As one bee sting in the back of the throat could be very dangerous, paramedic Emily Frank is standing by.
If his throat swells, that could be the worst danger for him if his airway shuts up and he's unable to breathe. In that case, I would have to use emergency equipment to breathe or assist in breathing.
Training a swarm of bees to enter a human mouth is a delicate operation. To entice them in, he'll use a simple solution of sugar, water and perfume. A yellow sponge is then soaked in the solution and the bees come flocking. Dr. Gary will now sit here until the end of the attempt. After putting the sponge in his mouth, he becomes the sole target for the bees.
If I have too many bees, they can crowd in there and just jam-pack my mouth full of bees very quickly and build up a pressure. The bees are actually, they're scrapping, they're fighting to get to the food, and they're pushing with their feet and clawing. And this could excite them, get them beyond their normal behavior, and they could sting. So that's one of my greatest concerns.
The danger is immediately apparent as Dr. Gary is stung on the upper lip before the record attempt has even started.
I was getting the dish near my mouth, and in a moment of inattention, I inhaled one bee inside my mouth, and I got stung right here. So that was just a split second. So you have to watch every little movement, anticipate every move on the part of the bees, or you can have serious trouble.
Dr. Gary tries again. He puts the sponge in his mouth and carefully exhales. The smell of the solution attracts the swarm of bees to his lips and hopefully away from his nostrils, which need to be unprotected to help him breathe. Watch here as several bees fly in and out of his nose. If he gets stung here, it might block his only airway once his mouth is filled with bees. He opens his mouth and the bees crowd in. At this point, the insects are literally fighting each other at the back of Dr. Gary's throat. He now closes his mouth, packed full of the bees, and gives the signal to start the count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. He's done it! Now, in order to count them, he must force the bees into the steel tube.
As soon as I opened my mouth, I knew that we had a great number of bees shaping up here. I could feel all the crawling out here. I could feel the pushing, the crowding. I also was holding my breath at that moment that we didn't get too many in there.
Now Dr. Gary must count the number of bees he's captured in his mouth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A dozen bees quickly escape from the tube. The count reaches 20, then 30.
39, 40, 41, 42, 43.
It's not long before it's 80, then 90, then 100, 106, 107, and 2 left in the cage. 109.
109. Wow.
109 bees held inside the human mouth for 10 seconds. That's a new Guinness record.
Feels great. I really thought I was going to get about 30 or 40 bees, and wow, 109, couldn't be happier.
Now it's time for us to buzz off as well. Join us next Friday when we'll have even more amazing records to shock and delight you. Good night.
Next week on Guinness World Records.